Good afternoon, welcome. Good evening if you're watching this at any time of the day, you're welcome. It's the 1st of August. Oh my God, how much time has flown. And excuse me, it's the 1st of August, and I'm so grateful more than anything for the gift of life, for being healthy enough to be able to sit down here in front of you guys and discuss um, a reel I saw on TikTok and also something I read on Threads. And first of all, I'm elated, I'm bright, I'm sharp, and when I talk. I love to come with positive energy before the camera. I had a wonderful nap just a few while ago, and I've just had lunch. So yeah, I'm energized. Yesterday, I was going through my threads, the app, and I read the story of this lady who went shopping, and she had done all the maths, all the budget, and she had budgeted something for her shopping. And when she got to the till, she was short of 70 cents, guys. Just 70 cents. And she didn't know what to do, and she left the groceries on the counter in the pretense that she was going to fetch the 70 cents from her car, and she never came back. The beautiful ending is that the cashier um, tallied up everything, paid it, and brought the groceries to her in the car and left her with some words of encouragement, which made her to continue going shopping there. And why do I bring up shopping? Well, it's Saturday and it's the end of the month or beginning of the month. Many people just got paid, so because it's Saturday, a lot of people are doing their shopping, and therefore I wanted to talk about a particular video or reel that I saw on Hello Fish Flaky, welcome. So I wanted to talk about a video that I saw on TikTok. It's the story of a lady who called her Paola. From what she says, you could tell that she's Latin Americana. So Paola watched the video of an influencer, a very popular influencer that I forget the name because that is not important. And she said when she was watching this video, which was a vlog actually of the popular influencer, the influencer had gone shopping and she was just dropping things in her cart without a care in the world, without looking at the price tag, without checking for options. And she had her cart full and she went to the till and she paid. And this has never happened in Paola's life. Paola is, I hope my neighbor is not hearing me because my neighbor is called Paola. And this has never happened in her life. She's 36 years old and it has never happened. And she was making a TikTok video about the situation, how frustrating and traumatizing it is for you to never know, excuse me, the blessing of shopping without uh, having a budget. You know, for many people around the world, we go with a shopping list. So let's say you have 5 items on the list. For many people, when you go to the shop, you look for the cheapest option. That is how most people shop. While for others, there are people like myself, I don't care how much something costs. If I have known the brand and I've come to trust the brand, the higher the price go, I will do something to still buy certain things that are not negotiable. And then we have the negotiables, you know. And it happens like that in life. And it's a life for everybody. But this is what hit me. For her to now go ahead and say that she believed that she was under a curse, one. Two, and it was a transgenerational curse. And therefore, she wanted the Lord to uplift her faith to the point where she could pray away this curse from her life, where she could also go to the shop and shop lavishly. And I'll tell you why I use that adjective in a moment, or adverb, is what I want us to talk about today. Right? So, the first things first is the fact that it made her cry. You know, life is very beautiful until we start comparing ourselves to others, and then we begin to see what we don't have, what we should have had, why it isn't us, and blah 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 blah. Then the contentment goes away. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, comparing themselves with themselves, they become foolish. You know. So the first thing that caught my attention was there is a trauma that has not been dealt with in Paula's life, because I don't see why you get a reel of probably 10 minutes, a vlog, or a reel of few seconds, less than a minute, will provoke or trigger self-pity. Because for me, that was all I saw. It was self-pity. You are not alone. And when you read the comments under her post, there are millions of people who live like that, who go to shop like that, and don't feel cursed. I get what she was trying to say. Is it a good ambition for you to want to be able to go and just shop for what you need and not just what you want? It's a good ambition. I believe food is everybody's right. People should be able to eat when they want to eat, what they want to eat, and how they want to eat, or how they should eat rather. But the first thing that made me say that there was a trauma, or there is trauma in her life that she has not dealt with, is the fact that she said in that video that when she was small, so from her story I take it that they are immigrants from South America, and her mother was illiterate, didn't speak English. They're in the United States, and they basically survived on food stamps. And I don't really know how the food stamps work. Hello, Francesco Cormillo. How are you? Welcome. And so Paola was in charge of filling in those food stamp forms back in the 90s, I think. And so one time she made an error while she was filling out those forms, and so the stamps didn't get to them. What happened is that they realized the mistake so late that that month they went without food. Now imagine you come from, if they were not born in the United States, they came from another country where probably they didn't have to do that, and maybe abuela was always there to lend a helping hand. There were friends and families to help out when I'm fine, thank you. You know, there are friends and family to support them during hard times, and now they are immigrants, nobody to help them. So they had to go to churches, soup kitchens, or shelters, she was saying, to get food for that period of month. Okay. And back in those days when her mother was feeding them with the food stamps was enough to fill up their fridge. Okay. So which means every month they had abundance, but her mother didn't have to work for it. The government gave you those food stamps, from what I understand, what I can gather. Now, you are comparing yourself with someone who is an influencer with millions of viewers, whose entire financial story you do not know. You don't know if her husband has another source of income. You do not know if influencing is just a side job for her. You don't know how long she has been influencing, how much she's getting at the end of the month. And you are comparing yourself to this person, assuming and believing that you are cursed just because you've never been able to go to the shop and fill up a trolley cart, or a shopping cart, or a grocery cart, depending on how you call it. Where I come from, we say the trolley. You know, I really felt for something like that to trigger her, there was trauma, and that was why it triggered her. Probably she also didn't forgive herself for that mistake, and so she feels, because of that error, that difficult month she took her family through, She doesn't deserve that kind of grocery shopping, and that is why she's going through that. You're just 36. I want to believe she's a mom, and so she doesn't want her children to grow up and live that kind of life. Now, the thing with comparing one another, yourself with other people, is that you don't know their whole story, especially here on social media. So the next thing I did was to go through the comment section, and this is what I found that really boggled me and made me come here. Many people were telling her that she's not alone, and someone said in the comment section that this is the reason why I don't follow rich people on social media. And I remember there was a time when YouTube used to suggest even shorts to me about fridge organization, where housewives would clean up the fridge, bring out everything, and restock the fridge. And all of us would be like in the comment section, wow, this is a lot of groceries. You could see many of those videos were like this double door, big groceries, big refrigerators, you know, with the freezer door and the fridge compartment. But they were huge fridges, you know, like in these modern houses. And they would stock up that fridge to the brim. You were looking at someone's 2 months salary in those videos. And I'm like, wow, this would be an amazing point to reach in your life. You know, everything. The one lady I used to follow, I used to be very happy for her. I'm always happy when I see people do well, because when you wish well for others, you are indirectly wishing yourself well. You are telling yourself that it's also possible for you. You know, this black lady used to have those kind of videos. I just forget her name and her channel, you know, but she would do that, and she has so much material wealth or material things that she can even afford to have a toy fridge, a very mini portable fridge in her daughter's room, and she stocks it up with ice creams and, you know, little snacks that the baby can feed on at night. And people were kind of mean to her on her YouTube page, because it's like, you know, people are just pretending and all that. There's a lot of resentment and jealousies, and you don't, that's what I'm saying, you don't know. And because of that, she came back in one video to her to do the video to say, you don't know where I'm coming from. I used to be that woman with her children and husband in a 1-bedroom apartment, and she had 4 kids and they didn't have nothing, which was what pushed her to start her cleaning services. And that cleaning services grew up to the abundance they have today. And so when she does these videos, it's not to flash wealth, so to put it. It is just to share with people who want to aspire to that, or who have the same abundance but don't know how to organize that. And why I used to follow those kind of organizational videos is because I wanted to be influenced. All right, I wasn't born with organization skills myself, so I used to watch those videos because I just wanted to learn how to put up your fridge, how to stock it, you know, tidiness. A lot of people, homemaking comes very, very easy to them. You know, they organize the pantry, they organize the laundry room, they organize the kitchen, they organize the fridge, they organize the wardrobe. They are just born housewives, you know, if we believe what we see. And some of us are not like that. So I used to enjoy watching those videos. And when I think of Paola's story, and in relation to all these videos, we are only seeing what they want us to see. One thing that Paola is not putting into consideration is one, sorry, I'm repeating myself. One of the things that she's not putting into consideration is the fact that that grocery shopping could be because she has people in her family with different needs. And so she has to shop maybe for the week, maybe for the month, but for everybody's needs. Imagine she's on a diet, she has a child who's on a diet, or she has a parent who is on a diet, or someone in the family, and therefore you have to buy the regular flour for everybody, then you have to buy the flour that is gluten-free for that person with that specific need, or someone who cannot eat meat with the other person, so you have to buy meat substitutes, or someone who is low on anemia like herself, perhaps. People have different needs. And then it could be that she's just stalking like these people I'm talking about in the stalking videos. Probably the video she just watched is one of those influencers, YouTubers who love to help other people. And half or one quarter of those groceries will be going to the needy. In one of those videos, like I was saying, you find that I saw one who had a fridge outside her door and they stock it with snacks for the trash collector, the delivery man, the gardener, and they just put it there and it's right there. So when people, all those delivery people, the service people come, the maintenance people, they just know that they can go into the fridge and take something and eat. Maybe that's why her grocery cart was full. You don't know. Maybe part of that week that grocery cart was full because she was cooking for an event. Maybe she was going to donate to a soup kitchen. You don't know. You just see the videos and she doesn't owe us an explanation. Nobody owes you an explanation on their video. Everybody's uploads what they want to upload and we watch and we draw conclusions that most times are harmful to ourselves. I understand that that's why I said there is trauma somewhere if it's triggering to you. For me, it happens with movies. There are movies that deal with child abuse and it makes me angry, or because I've been there as a child. And so that is what I wanted to talk to us about. This is the beginning of the month. You're going shopping. Look at your grocery cart. Look at your list. When you're going shopping, make a list. And we all have it. You cannot buy everything in the shop. So why do you compare the volume of your grocery cart to the volume of XYZ's grocery cart? You don't have the same needs. You don't have the same budgets. You don't have the same goals. You don't know each other. And they shop and they put it online, and then you're having a heartbreak, you're having a meltdown because of that. If you cannot watch videos that are in any way related to abundance, maybe shopping or whatever, then don't watch it. Preserve your mental health. But more than anything, I want us to be content. I want us to be content with our budget, with our state where we are. And contentment does not mean that do not aspire for a better life. Contentment in the sense that this is where I am right now, and it's okay. Tomorrow can get better, or it could get worse. Just live a life of gratitude. Be grateful for the fact that you even have that money to go shopping. Because for me, I was looking at this lady and I'm thinking, you overcame from feeding by food stamps to having an education. Your mother pulled through despite everything. You got an education. Probably you're married. You have a house of your own. You have a car of your own where you can sit down and do video content. And all you can think of is wanting to compare yourself and complain that you cannot shop with luxury. And from what she's saying, what she's looking for actually is not a life of abundance per se. It's not to overcome poverty. But I looked at it like, actually, probably the most likely thing she's saying is that she wants to have a lavish lifestyle. Yeah, she wants to have a lavish lifestyle because she just saw this lady picking things off the shelves. No, this lady has probably most likely a need for everything that she wants. It may be luxury to you, but it's a need to another person, you see. And so for you to just want to get to the point where you can just that is lavishness, that is wastefulness, and God does not bless us to be wasteful. Okay, God gives everybody according to their level of responsibility. You remember the story about the servant who was given a talent, different level of talent. Every wealth that you have comes with a level of responsibility. And I'm sorry to say it, but you cannot have that kind of mindset to want to live in abundance when you are not content with what you have. or what you think, the little that you have. You cannot, you have to be able to manage your resources. Like I said, this lady, she was comparing to works, has different sources of income, and so she's able to afford that, and she's generous, casting her bread on the wall. What have you done for your neighbor? What have you done for the community? What have you done with that little that you've been given? Many people do not realize that in casting your bread on the waters, in being generous, you know, that is how you get back, because someone gave you. People paid for those food stamps, whether you like it or not. There is a portion that workers pay for food stamps to be available to other people, you know. And so I want to finish with this. It really hurt me with the first video story that I read, that we can go shopping and someone lacks 70 cents, and there was nobody, absolutely nobody, that could say, oh, she's short of us, here's $1 or charge it on me. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And where is our humanity, So when you go shopping today, please go. If it's the $70, if you can help someone with the 70 cents, help someone with the 70 cents. It goes a long way. Show some kindness. Not everybody has the gift, the luxury to shop. There are people who don't even know the road to a supermarket. There are people who don't know what the inside of a supermarket, right? They just shop at the local groceries. Many of them are farmers, they just buy at the local market, and they don't have your lifestyle. Your lifestyle where you are right now is someone's prayer point. There are people who are just saying, if I can just have that car, or just be able to even have a phone to sit down and do what you're doing, and then all you think about is where you're not. No, the reality is that we're not all going to be millionaires, whether you like it or not. The best person you can compete with is yourself. The competition should be with yourself. When people say be the best is not being better than others. It is being the best version of yourself. So please, when you go shopping today or whenever, look out for that person who lacks that 70 cents. It shouldn't really happen. It shouldn't happen. That story really touched me. And every time you have a meal on your table, be grateful. Be grateful for whatever it is that you have on your table to eat. Be grateful, because there are people who are going without no food whatsoever. There are families who are just going to take water today and go to bed. You do not have the right to complain. Be grateful. I wish you a prosperous month of August. May everything all go well for you. And I'll see you guys as soon as I can. I've not been around because life happens, life happens. But we are here, and I'll always come to do videos like that. I want to always go on social media and come out whole, and come here with something whole and sound for your mind, your spirit, your mental health. And so enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Francia. Thank you, Flish Flicky. Remain blessed, everyone. Bye bye.